All right, let's roll. Yeehaw! It's a Digital Revolution podcast, and it's just your boy Jay. Guys, oh my God. Woo. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Again, it's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution podcast. The revolution will not be televised, guys. Guys, I hope you can hear me. I'm trying some new technology. I'm trying some new things. Guys, bear with me. Guys, it's the clock to do highway to hell, baby. Again, it's the Digital Revolution. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Just please like and subscribe. Yeah, baby. We're on a hot. Woo. Hope you guys do. Again, please like and subscribe. We're just getting ready for the show, and I'm just testing some things out. I'm testing some new technology out, guys. So bear fucking with me. All right, guys. What an introduction. That was AC/DC Highway to Hell, one of my favorite rock songs. Even though I'm kind of hip hop and R&B guy, but I love all genres of music. I love all types of music from opera to rap to alternative. I love everything. Once upon a time, I used to play guitar actually. But anyways, enough about me. It's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution podcast, guys. Bear with me. It's been a while since I posted anything, guys. I've been doing my own thing. Hopefully, this microphone is not too loud. Hopefully, I'm getting this message across because there's just so much shit going down, guys. It's so many things going down. Okay, so let me get myself together, guys. Again, it's your boy Jay. This is Digital Revolution Podcast. Please like and subscribe. And guys, today, bear with me. I'm trying some new technology. No, my face is not on the screen. No, I don't have gangrene or I don't have anything wrong with me. I don't have COVID or anything like that. But I just feel as though I need a little bit of separation from this process because we cover some really deep and depressing, deep, dark, geopolitical, political issues that's going on right now. And there is so much going on in the world. I mean, guys, we're talking about the aliens, even though the aliens have been around forever. I mean, if you guys ever read that book by what's his name? Bill Copper Cooper, the whole the pale horse. I mean, this has been out there for a while. I don't know if you guys know, but Bill Cooper was one of the original OGs of the, I guess you could call it the truth movement, or just a person that was trying to reveal truth. So you got OGs like Bill Cooper, Jordan Maxwell, Tristan, or what was his name? Michael Tessarian, excuse me, Michael Tessarian, and Coast to Coast AM, and things of that nature. But anyways, I digress as usual. Guys, this is the Digital Revolution podcast. This is your boy Jay. And let me just get myself together because guys, I'm a fucking mess. I'm a fucking mess. So hopefully I'm getting this message across. I'm trying some new technology here with my microphone. So guys, bear with me and I hope you guys can hear me. Guys, I hope everybody is doing well out there. There's so much going on in the world right now. There's so much to cover. I have not been posting because guess what, guys? I got my own shit going on. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's staying blessed. I hope everybody's staying employed. We have serious issues with the economy. I mean, just from the information that I'm getting, boots on the ground information. And oh yeah, we're gonna cover Jim Willie today. We're gonna cover Bill Holter. Guys, I worship Bill Holter and I definitely worship Jim Willie. And so we're gonna get to that before we get to everything else. But yeah, the economy, from what I understand and from what I'm seeing on my end, the economy is stagnating. I mean, it's hard to really quantify, what exactly is going on, but in certain sectors, um, the economy is slowing down. Guys, are you noticing that the economy is slowing down? If you are, please make a comment in the comment section. I welcome all comments. If you have anything nasty to say, I'll take it, but this is not the place or time for it, guys. Everybody is welcome here. Gay, straight, alien, whatever you identify, everybody is welcome here. Because guess what, guys? There's no room for hate. Jesus was not like that. Jesus welcomed everybody. But and not to say that I am a Christian because I consider myself actually non-denominational. Anyway, so let's get into this introduction. And yeah, the economy is just really, really fucking slowing down. And it's really hard to quantify. Like, is it white collar workers? Is it blue collar workers? Definitely in the real estate sector, as far as the commercial real estate going, according to people like Joe Salenti, we're seeing 50% unoccupied buildings for commercial real estate. And the banks own all of that commercial real estate. Some of the regional banks own that commercial real estate, not necessarily the major banks. But guys, we have default. Egon von Greer said it the best. Guys, I hope I'm not going too fast. Hope you guys are following me. I am a little nervous and I am a little bit all over the place because I'm not used to talking extemporaneously. And so guys, bear with me. I'm not like a regular podcaster. I'm just trying to get this information out there. But anyway, so I'm a student of economists like Egon von Greers. And so getting back to what we were talking about the economy and about the stagnant economy, it's really hard to really see what is and what is not. But Egon von Greers has said something to the effect that we are almost $3 quadrillion in debt. So if you look at the world, if you look at the planet, we are about $3 quadrillion in debt. That's a number that I can't even wrap my head around. So there's about $320 trillion of global debt, and there's another $2 quadrillion of derivative debt. The derivatives, what the fuck is a derivative? A derivative is just more fake money. It's more debt. So so we're just rounding it up, I guess you could say. Like, let's just say, for all intents and purposes, $3 quadrillion worth of fucking debt. I can't even wrap my head around that shit. So you got this $3 quadrillion worth of debt, and then you have about $1.2 trillion of gold that supports that $3 quadrillion. And according to people like Egon von Greers, he says that the debt is collapsing and that we will be experiencing for the next 10 years major defaults. Expect to see major fucking defaults, just default, 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 default. And according to some of the research that I've been doing recently, that places like JP Morgan is in debt, BlackRock is in the process of debt. Even though JP Morgan has a lot of derivative exposure, as we soon to understand, and from the research that we're all doing, that the Patriots is doing. I don't know what the fuck that was. Was that a bomb? Anyways, so again, it's your boy Jay. This is just Revolution Podcast. Guys, bear with me because, guys, I'm all over the fucking place. I hope everybody's doing well. Please, everybody's welcome here. Please like and subscribe and support my podcast if you like the information I'm kicking to you. So anyways, so let me just slow down a little bit. So we have the $3 quadrillion of debt that's supported by $1.2 trillion of gold. What the fuck? The gold is the real money. By law, the only real money is gold and silver. Everything else is credit, right? From the words of the famous JP Morgan himself. And so the debt, the debt is ballooning. And so once the debt collapses, that $3 quadrillion of debt that we're not able to pay back, and we're talking globally, meaning that every country is in fucking debt, from China to Russia, all the paper currency. The other day, I was at one of my favorite Chinese stores, or one of my favorite Chinese restaurants, getting some takeout. And I don't know if you guys ever been to a Chinese restaurant, and they have like all the paper currency. And I'm looking at the paper currency and I'm like, it's paper currency from all over the world, from United Emirates to Indonesia, to US currency. And I'm looking at all the currencies. I'm like, hell fucking know what I want any of these currencies. All these currencies are fucked up. The only currency maybe that you would want is the dollar. It's the least shittiest of the shitties, in the words of Jim Willie. And we're going to get to Jim Willie pretty soon. Hopefully, I don't make this podcast too long. But anyways, I just wanted to give my introductory notes here, that the economy is fucked up and that the debt is just ballooning. It's hyperinflated. The debt is being hyperinflated. It's money that's created out of thin air. And we're going to be seeing, according to people like Egon von Greers, who is one of the best, I believe, one of the best risk managers out there from Switzerland. He's saying that we're going to be experiencing for the next 10 years major defaults. Guys, get your pen and paper. Major fucking defaults going down. That's just unbelievable when I think about it. Unfucking believable. And as I've been studying about economics, I realized that there is a principle to economics that I don't think a lot of people really understand. And it's something that I had to come into awareness about. But it's something to the effect that you cannot have in human nature, really, it's about human nature, because in human nature, you cannot have nothing for something. You cannot have nothing for something. If you go to work and you do labor, that's something, but you're getting what you're using for barter, and what you're getting in exchange for that labor is nothing. And so the tables have turned, and the people that are really in control are the central bankers. It's the central banks. And as we do more research, and I'm just going to say allegedly, because I don't want my fucking channel to be blacklisted or anything like that. So let's just say fucking allegedly. But guys, the Bank of International Settlements is the mother bank. It is the ruling bank. It is the bank that rules all the other banks. It's where all the taxpayers' money goes, allegedly. Guys, there's just so much information. But yeah, we're talking about the economy, and I was referencing Egon von Greyer's and him talking about that debt, the outstanding debt, and that $320 trillion plus the $2 quadrillion is expanding, and it's being hyperinflated. So consumers right now are seeing hyperinflation. They're seeing consumer prices rise. I think the government statistic was like 3%, but actually the inflation is somewhere around 25%, at least in the food. So your food is going up 25%. So is your paycheck going up 25%? Guys, again, going back to that economic principle of something for something, eventually the debt will collapse. And as Bill Holter has made us aware, the debt will collapse, and the banks will no longer be able to extend credit. And so, and I'm kind of like a big picture kind of a guy, like big thinking kind of view. So before we get into stock market updates, I just want to like piggyback off of what is some of the big pictures. What are some of the big pictures with the overarching themes? And if I convey anything in this podcast, it is the overarching themes. Okay, so one of the overarching themes is, what is one of the overarching themes? Yeah, one of the overarching themes is that the debt is outstanding globally, from China to Russia to Ukraine to all these countries. The debt is rising, and those governments' currency is failing. This is why you're hearing all this talks of the BRICS. And so the overarching theme is that the banks are collapsing. The biggest bank right now, well, at least one of the biggest commercial banks, is JP Morgan. And from some of the research that I've done, and this is just my own research, and I'm just going to say allegedly so I don't get in trouble, is that JP Morgan is the government. JP Morgan Chase Bank is the fucking government. And if you get welfare, and if you get EBT, and if you're getting any kind of social security, how they run the programs is through private defense contractors like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. And allegedly, those companies were the ones that did 9/11. And guys, we're going to get a little bit more into this, and I hope everybody's doing well. It's the Digital Revolution podcast. This is your boy, Jay. The revolution will not be televised. Guys, I am scatterbrained today. I hope I'm conveying this message across. Again, we're just piggybacking my introduction is on how fucked up the economy is, and people are starting to feel it. Like literally, people are starting to feel it. I went to one place just today, and there was nobody in there. It was a hair salon and a place where you get haircuts and manicures. And guys, there was nobody in there. And the workers were looking very, very scared, like scared for their life, scared for their job. I went to one of these banks the other day, and there was nobody in there. And all the workers looked desperate. They look fucking desperate. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Guys, bear with me today. I am scatterbrained. I have not made any posts because shit is getting real, guys. Like, is shit getting real for you? This is crazy. This government is crazy. They came out with the aliens, and nobody even gives a fuck about the aliens because everybody's going poor. I think maybe that's just a way for them to distract from people, noticing that they're getting poor and poor and poor and poor and poor. So getting back to the overarching themes that we wanted to get into. Let me get a drink of water. The overarching theme is here. Guys, follow me on this. Follow me on the overarching theme. The Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, so not sure if I was recording that. Anyway, so I will edit that out. But anyway, so where was I? Hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, so I had to just take a drink of water, and again, I might be having some technical difficulties because I'm dealing with some new fucking technology. So guys, bear fucking with me, guys. You know I have a potty fucking mouth, and it is what it is. It's your boy Jay. It's the Digital Revolution podcast. It's on and popping, guys. It's time to get busy. Anyway, so I was getting back to bitching about how fucked up the economy is and how people are feeling it, and I wanted to get back to the overarching theme. So I was just talking about Iga von Gleers and the outstanding debt. And I was just getting into how JP Morgan Chase is one of the biggest banks on planet Earth. And essentially, JP Morgan Chase owns about 30 to 35% of the central bank of the Federal Reserve Bank, which is connected to the Bank of National Settlements, which is the mother bank. JP Morgan Chase Bank is the government. It is the government, and all of its computer software and all of its processing and programming is done through the private defense contractors. Guys, if you have welfare, if you're getting EBT, if you're getting SNAP benefits, which is a form of CBDC, it is a form of digital money. If you're getting unemployment benefits, a lot of that is being processed through JP Morgan Chase. And I'm just going to say allegedly because I don't want to get kicked off. I don't want to get kicked out of my channel. But anyways, I digress. And guys, I hope you follow me. So again, I wanted to just, before we get into the stock market and we get into the Jim Wheelies and the Bill Holters, I wanted to get into the overarching theme that if I was able to convey anything, it's the overarching theme. And the overarching theme is that the fucking banks are collapsing. If JP Morgan Chase is in the process of defaulting, then they're all fucking in the process of defaulting, right? Okay, follow me on this. Okay, so the bank is going away. If the banks are collapsing, the government is collapsing. The government has debt, has deficits that they cannot, unfunded liabilities that they cannot service that debt, and at the moment they cannot find any buyers for that debt. So you're going to see these themes of the banks collapsing, the government collapsing, and then the dollar will collapse because the dollar has been in this upward trend. um, the dollar is going to be the last bubble to collapse. And then one of the other things that Egon von Gleers has said is that after the dollar collapse, we're going to see population collapsing, depopulation. And guys, there's a lot of depopulation. And I'm just gonna say, allegedly, the CV, you know, the CV vaccine, some people are saying, is tied to this depopulation. COVID itself, which is allegedly being tied to 5G. There's just so much going on, but again, I digress. And guys, I hope you follow me. It's your boy Jay. This is the Revolution Podcast. And guys, I'm trying something new on this podcast where I'm just recording my voice And I'm just going to start sharing my screen, and I hope you guys are following me on this. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution podcast. The revolution will not be televised. Guys, I hope you follow what the fuck I'm saying, because I am all over the place, guys. So I just wanted to go through my introduction. That was my introduction, by the way, that the economy is all fucked up. It's people are really starting to the public is having issues with liquidity because businesses, small businesses, are their liquidity is drying up. You know, all those people that had those PPP loans or had all that government stimulus is sort of going away now. And so the consumers are scared and they're saving their money. So therefore not only is lending from the banks being constricted, but also consumer spending is being constricted because moving forward into the future is very uncertain. And guys, I hope you follow me on this. So again, the overarching theme, if I convey anything, is that the banks are collapsing, the government's collapsing, the dollar will collapse eventually. Maybe things will still be priced in dollars, and maybe they will go to a gold-backed currency, or they'll go to CBDC. Nobody knows, or some sort of digital currency. But after the dollar collapses, then we will have population collapsing as well. Hope you guys follow me on this. It's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution podcast. The revolution will not be televised. And hope you guys follow me on this. So let's just take a look at the S&P 500. And guys, this fucking markets are whack as fuck. It ain't really nothing going on in these markets. I cannot stand these fucking markets. I cannot stand these markets. What the fuck is this market doing? You know what, guys? I'm gonna just tell you what Ichimoku is saying on this market. So I'm gonna pull back on a monthly chart here, and I'm gonna just tell you the overarching theme right now for the month. We are in consolidation mode. As you guys can see here, we are in consolidation mode for the monthly. So even though that we had this peak here sometime in, looks like the peak was, the historical peak was in the 1st of December, was it? What is this? No, sorry. January 3rd, 2022 was that we were at the peak, and we have this sort of a peak here. Guys, by no means is this any kind of like financial advice. Please, you know, this is not advice at all. Please don't listen to what I'm saying, but listen to what I'm saying if you get my drift. But here we have a major consolidation mode, and I would say on a monthly, I would be concerned about that because it doesn't look like the market. It may not be making all-time highs anytime soon, but this is what Ichimoku was saying. Ichimoku was saying that for the month we're in consolidation mode. On the daily, we have a sell-off here, and it looks like on the daily that we're about to have a golden crossover. We're about to have a Keiji-sen and Tenkan-sen crossover. So that's a no. We're also having consolidation here. So we're looking at consolidation. On the 4-hour chart, it's looking again consolidation or a ranging market. And on the hour, we have a sell-off. It went up from this low point here. It went up about 1%. So the overarching theme for the S&P 500 is in a ranging, consolidating mode. We hit a top right here, but we may not see that top again. Really, guys, I really don't understand these markets, and it's just very confusing. Like, what is going on? There is no supporting theme. There is no real trend. A lot of the buyers are getting out of the stock market and they're getting into hard assets. So again, on one of the podcasts, I was saying that one of the overarching themes for the stock market was, guess what? Make as much fucking money as you can. If you're a day trader, mostly day traders, but I cannot tell you to be long on this market or not long on this market, but a lot of people are just making as much money as they can and rolling that over into precious metals. Speaking of precious metals, let's go to gold. Damn, gold is selling off, guys. This is crazy. Do you see this price here? We're at 1,905.08 currently, and the market is open. Gold has seen a major sell-off But I would not be too shaken off. I don't know if you guys follow my podcast, you know that I predicted that gold will go all the way down to about 1600 an ounce when the real sell-off goes, because I think that it will go to $1,600 an ounce of gold. And then before it goes all the way up to that $2,000 mark. Again, when you're looking at these prices, you're looking at the contract, you're looking at some component of the derivatives. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing, and I hope you guys are following me. And I hope this message is being broadcasted loud and clear. Guys, bear with me. I'm trying some new technology, and yeah, just go along with it, okay? But anyway, so yeah, so we just looked at the S&P 500, and it's looking like it's ranging and consolidating. And if you're not an expert trader in a ranging market, then get the fuck out. Gold is having a sell-off here. I don't even want to say or can even tell you why it is having a sell-off. But one of the things that I can tell you is that a lot of these companies, and I'm just going to say allegedly because I don't know what I can and cannot say. I'm just going to say allegedly. A lot of these companies, they are getting money from drug money, from narcotics money. Possibly that these markets is money laundering, and it's drug money that's propping up the stock market, because you got to think about it. The government, they're not making any money. The government is broke. The government is bankrupt. The banks are bankrupting. So how do they make their money? They make their money through these deals with like Mexico and fentanyl. And why do you think fentanyl is such a thing? It has two, like killing two birds with one stone type of thing. Like, okay, in one hand, you're getting the population down, you're killing the population, allegedly. And on the other hand, the banks are making money, allegedly. Nvidia is up 7%. And really, this Nvidia stock is really the stock that is propping up the market. But anyways, I digress, as I normally do. Gold is selling off. However, again, the overarching theme that I believe that I see happening in these markets is that the traders and these banks and these private equities, they are propping up the market as much as they can. At the same time, they're getting out of the market and they're buying up precious metals. I think something like Andy Schectman says something like that the central banks bought up about 23% of all the gold mined last year, and into this year, 23%. So at the same time, they're suppressing this price. I don't know if you guys can see this. They're bringing down the price of gold so they can buy it up cheap, and they're secretly buying it up, particularly gold and silver. Don't sleep on silver. Silver is right behind gold. But again, gold is real money. But the overarching theme that I believe that I see in these markets is make as much money as you can. If you're a day trader, you're a swing trader, if you're an option trader, make as much money as you can before the market tanks, and get into actual hard assets. And so again, we're going to be dealing with overarching themes. Okay, so if I just want to review here. So one of the overarching themes is that the banks are collapsing, the government is collapsing, the dollar is collapsing, and then the population is collapsing. That is one of the overarching themes. The other overarching themes, one of the macro economic themes that I believe that I'm seeing, is markets being propped up, right? Make as much money as you can, and then roll that into hard assets. So essentially what the central banks and what these banks and governments are doing is that they're going to inflate the debt until the debt implodes. They're going to print as much money as they can, right? They're going to print as much fucking money as they can to buy up the world. And so we're going to see moving forward, as we get deeper and deeper into World War III, say that 10 times fast, as we get into World War III, we're going to see one of the overarching themes is a fight for hard assets. It's going to be a fight for hard assets, guys. That's what I believe. Let me get a drink of water here, guys. It's the Digital Revolution podcast. It's your boy Jay. The revolution will not be televised. Guys, I hope you guys are following me on this. This is a lot. There's so much to cover. It's not even fucking funny. And I hope I don't make this podcast too long. And if it's long, fuck it. But it is what it is. I hope I'm conveying and getting this information out there so that you guys can understand the overarching theme, the overarching themes of banks collapsing, banks defaulting, governments defaulting, the dollar collapsing, essentially the dollar being hyperinflated away. sort of like in Zimbabwe and in those South American countries like Venezuela, where the dollar just essentially has been collapsing. And then after all of that is said and done, then we will see a population decline. Um, is it the government? Maybe. Or is it just part of the cycle of life, part of the depopulation cycle? There's some people that out there that say that the Illuminati families that control the central bank, like the Bank of International Settlements and the WEF, the World Economic Forum, allegedly they want to get the population down to only 500 million people. So yes, so those are the overarching themes. And so one of the overarching themes again for the banks is this, not for the banks, but for the stock market, is to make as much money as you can, prop it up while you're secretly selling off these stocks so that the retail clients, sort of like the pension funds and the retail investors, will be holding the bag that don't know better while you are raising your liquidity and you're selling off whatever toxic debt and you're raising as much cash because essentially everyone will be having issues with cash flow as we see stagnation in the economy. And once you have that liquidity, that cash, you're buying hard assets. It doesn't necessarily have to be gold or silver. It could be anything in that hard asset class. It could be anywhere from gold, silver, Bitcoin, and farmland, and all the other hard assets. Farmland is definitely, I think, one of them. So yeah, so gold is selling off, but make no mistake about it that they are buying it up because listen, JP Morgan Chase and all these other banks have been caught red-handed manipulating these markets, have been fined hundreds of millions of dollars manipulating these markets. And yeah, well, as Lynette Zhang would say, this is actually a really good thing. And to me, you know, Lynette always says a rising price of gold is an indication of a failing currency. So there's still so much market manipulation, and yeah, they're getting the prices low here. They're getting the prices low. We're gonna look at the TLT. And these treasury bonds, these 20-year treasury bonds is not looking good, guys. It ain't looking good. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you guys, hopefully you guys can see this. And hopefully I'm getting this message across. It's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution Podcast. And please like and subscribe if you like the information that I'm kicking to you. Guys, I'm just trying to have as much fun as I can here because there's just so many depressing things going on. You know, friends turning against friends, family turning against family, coworkers turning against coworkers. The whole fabric of society is breaking down, and it's so obvious. I'm going to be doing something in this podcast called Ask the Oracle, and essentially you can ask the Oracle anything. And guys, if you have any questions for the Oracle, you can ask the Oracle. The Oracle is sort of like a juxtaposition, if you will, a confluence. A cacophony, a grab bag of algorithms and patterns and predictive programs that we ask the Oracle, and we ask it questions and then we get answers. Sort of similar to sort of like a predictive program. And so you can ask it almost anything and it will come out with an answer. And I found that over the years that maybe in my own crazy wackadoodle, you know, way that it tends to be accurate. I would say anywhere from 85 to 95% accuracy to almost 100% accuracy when we ask the Oracle. So guys, hopefully I will get to that segment here where we ask the Oracle things and we ask it about the future. But anyway, so yeah, like look at this. These fucking these 20-year treasury bonds is garbage. Guys, the stock market is fucking garbage. It's fucking garbage, guys. It's garbage. It's just a bunch of fake, phony fucking shit. It's just fake money that they're controlling. All these analysts come on there, all these economists come on there and they talk their Fed speak. They talk their gibberish. They talk it's like mental masturbation. And it's like, just give me the fucking real thing, guys. Give me the real fucking thing. Just tell me what the fuck it is. And what the fuck it is that the banks is collapsing. The government is collapsing. The dollar is collapsing. The banks, the central banks are able to print up as much fake money as they want and buy up all the assets that they want. They created COVID, I'm just going to say allegedly, so that they can get more stimulus because the banks were already having liquidity issues. And so they print the money out of nothing and they buy up all the hard assets. And we're going to have a civil war, according to this information. We're going to have a civil war over these hard assets. And guys, the government is out of fucking control, guys. It's out of control. We are in a banana republic, and hopefully, we will get more to that. But these treasury bonds is looking like basura. Hopefully, you guys are following me on this podcast. Again, guys, Trump, guys. Trump. I don't know. It's so hard to talk about Trump because you have so many people that's so galvanized by him. And again, this podcast, I try to welcome everybody and all views. And I'm not saying Trump is good or bad. Actually, I love Trump. I'm wouldn't say that I'm a Trump supporter, but I love him. I guess I do support him. It's really hard to say, and it's really hard to talk about him because a lot of people they support him by behind closed doors and mostly only in blue states like California and New York, which are highly socialized and highly corrupt. Do you get people that don't like Trump? So Trump is a very galvanizing figure, and depending on what group you're in, who you're talking to, but I think that Trump is on the right side. The only thing that I could say at the moment is plenty of things that I could say about Trump. I don't think he did any of the things that they say that he's doing. He's being indicted on what I don't even know. But according to some of the intel that I'm getting is that Trump, when the FBI raided him in Mar-a-Lago, that oh boy Trump, he had the fucking codes to the nuclear bombs, to the football as they call it. He has the codes to the nuclear bombs, and not Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is he's technically not the president. He is an illegitimate president, and he got there through voter fraud. And I think that as we go on, Trump is going to somehow expose that. And there is just so much going on with Trump, and so many conspiracy theories, guys. I'm not telling you to like him, not like him. You got to do your research on him. Me personally, I see a man that is fighting. Above everything, Trump is a family man. Okay. Trump is a family man and he loves his family. Now, if I love my family the way Trump loved my family, I would not be president. I would not be fucking president. I would just be like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna just save my family. But Trump is putting his whole entire family on the line, guys. Think about it. He's putting his whole family on the line, and it makes me sad just to think about what they're doing to him, because what they could do to him, they could do to us. They're indicting a former president, but some people say he's still the president. I did not ask the Oracle about Trump, but it's unclear. I think that I'm going to get deeper into what the Oracle says about all this stuff. And guys, if you have any questions, you can ask the Oracle. You can even ask personal questions about your life and about things that you want to know, like is your wife cheating on you? Is your husband cheating on you? Yes, it's the Oracle. But I will get back to the Oracle soon, very soon. And we're going to be doing more stuff with the Oracle. So anyways, yeah, Trump, there's so much going on with Trump. Is that even the real Trump? Was there an alleged assassination attempt on Trump? You guys know that they use all types of proxies and all types of stand-ins for these politicians. But anyway, so yeah. So the Illuminati and the New World Order and the West people and those central banks is after Trump. Um, they're after Trump. And I will go back to this. Even if you didn't like Trump, one of the reasons why so many people converted to Trump, and again, I'm not telling you to like him or not like him, but he wanted to bring the troops back home. Enough with these fucking bullshit wars. Enough with these stupid fucking wars. He wanted to bring the troops home. And one of the things that you may say about Trump is that he increased the debt, like every president increased the debt. They all increased the debt. But I think Trump is on the right side of history. And the last election that we had, I looked at Trump, guys, and I saw a man that was fighting for his country. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this or whatever, because I'm saying that I like Trump or that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not saying I support anything or that I'm even I'm politically homeless. I'm just going by what I'm seeing and what I'm reading and what I'm the information I'm gathering. And that a reason why a lot of people support Trump is because he supported our troops. And it makes me sad. I could just break down and cry right now, guys, because these are our troops. This is us. It's us. It's our family members. You know, if you have people in the military and you know people in the military, you got friends, family in the military, it's not a fucking joke. You want to bring your loved ones home. And it's enough to make me get emotional about it. But I saw this man, Trump, fighting for his country, on the right side of history. And like Trump said, as simple as that. If Trump was in office, we would not be having this fucking bullshit war with Ukraine. We would not be having this bullshit war with Ukraine. What is it, $150 billion that we gave Ukraine? And I think that they just were going to give them another $20 billion. Don't quote me on that, but I do know that it was $150 billion so far that we have given to Ukraine, and something like another $20 billion that we're giving to them while we have these people in Hawaii suffering. Again, let me just try to run through this. But yeah, Trump is going through it. He's being indicted. I forgot exactly why he's being indicted, but I don't even think it matters. They're just fucking with him because they don't want him to go against them. Same with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You know, they're against the Illuminati. Hello, they're against these motherfuckers. They're against some of the most powerful people on the planet. And these people that controlling the planet, they may not even be on the fucking planet. And you know, as you go deeper into these conspiracy theories, sometimes the deepest that you might find is, you know, shit that's happening in Antarctica, that, you know, there's some shit going down in Antarctica and shit that's going on with the aliens, and we'll get deeper into that. But I don't want to make this podcast too long. But that, you know, allegedly, the deeper you go, probably some of the furthest down the rabbit hole you can go is that the people that are controlling the banks and the planet, they're not even on this planet. They may be on another planet, and that they somehow controlling, you know, sort of like you have like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. They're like the middle managers as compared to these people that are off the planet and offshore, you know, offshore havens, off world colonies, or colonies in deep in outer space. Um, or allegedly that some of these people that are controlling the planet are on a whole entirely different other planet, or that there are several Earth-like planets that they're under a conglomerate of these central banks. That's about as far as you go. And of course, there's way more to it, but that is about the bottom of the conspiracy theories. Now, of course, there could be way more to that, and I think as we go on, we're going to uncover that. There's a lot of confusion going on with the aliens, guys. These aliens have been here for years. Abductions have been going on for years. It ain't nothing new. Um, I think it's just a distraction, but not to say that aliens really do exist. But most likely, you will probably have been encountered with an alien and didn't even realize that you were encountered with an alien, because some of them look just like us. Most of the times, I would say that most people encounter aliens before they go to bed. At night, when you're dreaming, when you're being abducted by these aliens. But I don't want to get too deep into that conversation, because we were on the conversation of Trump and who really is controlling everything. And again, as deep as the conspiracies go, is that these motherfuckers are on another planet, Alpha Centauri possibly, or that there are several Earth-like planets that they are under a conglomerate. And you know, a lot of movies are on this theme. And I'm not even going to go into Hollywood, because right now Hollywood is fucked up. But so yes. So before we get into Bill Holter, so we covered the S&P 500. We covered long-term Treasury, 20-year Treasury bonds. We covered the S&P. We have a little screen here. We can see how the market did. Nvidia is the one that is propping up the market, but allegedly that this is a lot of drug money going into the market. They're trying to make as much money as they can before the dollar crashes, and they're buying up gold and silver while at the same time suppressing the price of the gold and silver. Guys, it's your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution Podcast. I hope you guys are following me on this. And I am experimenting with my audio today. I'm not on screen today, and I'm just experimenting with audio. Guys, if you prefer me to be on screen, let me know. But I feel as though that removing myself from this allows me to speak about these things a little bit more freely, because it's just a lot of fuck shit going on. And it's really hard to get to the bottom of this. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah, this is Maui here. Guys, look at this. This made me cry, guys. Ugh. And now a lot of people are saying that this is a land grab, that, all over the dark web and all over the web and social media platforms, there's pictures. And I had an interview that I lost with Nino Rodriguez in Nino's Corner, and he had this guy on there that had some really interesting information. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, I wonder who's gonna be buying up this land now. This land is cheap. Um, this is possibly coming from, and again, I'm going to just say allegedly, this is possibly coming from our own government. This is possibly coming from the G7 nations. I don't think this is coming from Russia or China, because then we would be in a complete state of war. We would be in a declaration of war, even though we're in World War III, because World War III is really with the central banks in the West and the CCP party of China, from the research that I'm doing. But this was really hard to watching the family. My heart goes out to these families, and everybody, just, we need to be praying. And guys, again, this is why we need to come together, whether you're white, you're black, you're Asian, you're Jewish, you're Muslim, whether you're trans, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whatever the fuck you are, who gives a fuck? Look at what's going on this fucking planet. We need to come together. All this other shit is just fucking distracting us from the fact that major life support systems on planet Earth are eroding, are collapsing. Everything is collapsing. Society is collapsing. Is there a way to change it? Guys, I believe that, and I could be wrong, that one of the another overarching theme that we're going to see is that we're not going to get back to good times. Like, let's say, for instance, everything is going to collapse and population is going to collapse, and we're not going to see another boom possibly in our lifetime until they're on another fucking planet, until human beings collectively, and not just the Illuminati groups, have found a way to get off the planet. It is absolutely necessary for us now to get off the planet. And moving forward, if the conversation is not about how do we get everybody safely off the planet, as if they were traveling in outer space, like if they were in their own fucking living room, that's where all the money is going. I believe it's going off world. And so again, I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. This is just the information that I've gathered, but this is looking like a war zone. This is looking like some of the technology that they used in 9/11, energy directed beams. I wonder who's going to be buying up all this property now. How many acres? I forget how many acres they say this was. This is acres and acres and acres and acres of some of the most prime real estate land on planet Earth. Also, too, I think that, some of the people that live there are not necessarily anti-government, but that they didn't need the government, that they have their own establishments. You have people like, what's this guy's name that does AM TV, the Chris guy. Well, anyway, so you got a lot of people that are fully capable and independent without the need of the government. And so, allegedly, and I'm just going to say allegedly because I don't want to get my channel kicked off, but that a lot of this is, being done by our own government. And what corporations, what companies can actually do this? It's Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. I'm not saying that they're actually involved in it, but let me just go back a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to be fucking watching this. But anyway, so yeah, so I digress. Hopefully you guys are following me on this. This is your boy Jay. This is the Digital Revolution podcast. And please like and subscribe to my podcast. Guys, I'm trying something new today. I'm just trying to just record this just as this. So guys, bear with me. So yeah, so I went over my introduction, how the economy is all fucked up. I haven't been on here in a while because guess what? Everything's fucked up. Everything is falling apart. Everything's collapsing. Friends, family members are losing their mind. People are losing their mind. They're losing their homes. They're losing their jobs. Guys, shit is getting real, and it's going to get real. Before I digress any further, I want to just get into this Jim Willie. Again, I hope you guys are following me on this. Please bear with me, guys. I'm trying this new format on my podcast show where I'm just, recording the audio. So guys, bear with me. I hope you like this format. Again, bear with me. And I consider myself podcaster in training, if you will. Okay, this is bringing me back to the old days of radio, and I used to love the old days of radio. You know who one of my favorite radio personalities is? It's Howard Stern. Yeah, I love Howard Stern. You know, Howard kind of fell off though. He kind of fell off, but he is still one of the best out there. But in terms of his popularity, you know, he had peak popularity, but in my heart, Howard will always be, you know, the gold standard. And there was once upon a time where we didn't have the visuals. And to me, sometimes the audio is better because it puts you in a certain mindset. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully you guys bear with me and let's hear what Jim Willie has to say. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Claiming that the Fed is going to become the bad bank to soak up treasury bonds that the entire globe is going to get rid of. They're going to get rid of it because they're rid of the treasury bonds because it's a fraudulent bond. They're in default, and our debt is out of control. We'll never pay it back. Okay, those are compelling reasons to dump the treasury bond, and I think it's going to be dumped and picked up by the Fed. They've gone from 2.5 to 9 something trillion in the last few years. I think they're going to go to 15 trillion or more. They're going to become the bad bank for the U.S. government. That is a shocking 180-degree swap from what they used to be, you know, the power center for the dollar. And remember, after Lehman Brothers, the owners of the Fed granted themselves a $9 trillion gift. And only from Ron Paul's forced audit regarding the financial regulatory bill did we get that information out. $9 trillion of gifts to themselves. And now they've got the opposite. They've got huge debt. They're handing debts to the Treasury Department, not interest payments. The interest rate hikes are damaging the Fed as much as everybody else. Okay, I've gone on enough. The newsletter's going strong, Jack. I've rebuilt from a low a few years ago. I've rebuilt, and
so people like Jim Willie are saying, and guys, tune into Jim Willie. You can go on Rumble and just type in Jim Willie. That's JIMWILLIE. Wow. So Jim has been saying that essentially the government is broke and that these other countries like China, Russia, and these other countries don't want to buy our treasury bonds. They're like, fuck you. What is it going to put a gun to our head? So yeah, we're having serious issues with these treasury bonds, and that's essentially what it is. And let me see if I can find some more stuff with Jim Willie. Let me go into this other clip, okay? Yeah, it's your boy Jay. This is the Revolution Podcast. Guys, bear with me. I'm trying a new platform here today. Yeah, so bear with me.
Derivative, multi-trillion-dollar derivative explosions and accidents. Okay, this is going to happen. And more evidence of this war, and oil is right in the middle of it. The United States Treasury Department announced that euro dollars, which are essentially treasury bonds held by European banks, treasury bonds bought by Europeans with trade surplus, held in the European banks, are changed in their status to be called euro dollars. The U.S. Treasury Department announced, I think it was sometime around June, that they were not going to honor euro dollars for transfer to the United States banks. That's a declaration of war. And a lot of Americans think that. I would say 99% of Americans don't understand that, don't even know it happened, and if told, they wouldn't understand it anyway. All right, move on.
The U.S. dollar continues to be in a trading range, as does gold. Do you think these trading ranges are likely to continue?
No.
Actually, again, guys, this is Jim Willie, and this is a clip from Gold Radio FM podcast. And you just can go to Rumble and type it in if you really wanted to hear the full interview. But yeah, let's just continue on.
Give a crap about the dollar trading range. What is the dollar index? Well, 50% euro, and the rest is divided among all the other IMF major currencies. So if the dollar declines, that means the euro went up. Well, the euro has no justification for going up. France is almost shut down. Germany is crippled. Italy just announced a windfall profits tax on their banks. The Dutch just shut down their farms. What the hell? Europe is a mess. Europe is an absolute and total and complete mess.
God damn. Right.
Toilet paper with fecal matter on it compared to other toilet paper with different color and other fecal matter on it.
God damn, yo, Jim Willie goes in. That's why I love him. Like, why would you want to learn from any other economist? Like, if this was like university or college, like all these other fucking economists that come on there and like Bloomberg and all this fucking shit and fucking what else? The other one? I don't want to say some names, but like fucking Bloomberg and some of these other people or whatever. How fucking know if it was a college class, you wouldn't want to take their class because you're not gonna understand anything. Jim Willie is saying the dollar is basura, garbage. It's fucking poop. It's doo-doo. It's nay. It's nay nay. It's nigh. It's nil and nigh. It's null and void. It's a no. And all the other currencies are following along. Okay, let's get a little bit more into what Jim Willie has to say, and then we're gonna skip over to Bill Holter, my boy Bill Holter. Let's play the clip.
Is. I really don't. I hardly ever look at it. The gold range I do look at. I think that's going to go up, and I expect that the BRICS nations eventually. I don't know when. Don't know exactly how.
Okay, that's where I differ a little bit. Yeah, it is gonna go up. You know, we're gonna see gold at all-time high, but I think it will go to at least 16,000, and it's gonna shake out a lot of the holders of the gold, at least the paper gold, the paper markets or the trading. It could go all the way down to 16, not 16,000, 1,600 an ounce before it goes to that $2,000 range. But yeah, let's play the clip. Let's play the clip.
But they're going to come out with their own multiple, what do you call, multi-node gold price, like a list of gold prices from their major cities, their major markets. And I've mentioned them before: Istanbul, Johannesburg, Sydney, Australia, Shanghai, London, Zurich, St. Petersburg, maybe, New York, Singapore, all these different locations, and maybe Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires, I don't know. But they're going to have their own gold price, and they're not going to pay much attention to the COMEX. The COMEX is having trouble delivering. They're trying to put a gun to their clients' heads to take a cash delivery, and that's not working, and has not worked now for 2 months with respect to silver.
Guys, this is where the real trade is. I believe this is where the real, this is where the real money is going, and this is where the real conversation is. It's in real things. Okay, let me finish playing the clip again. God, I just love Jim Willie. I love him.
The default in the silver market a month ago, it was Newmont. I think it was Peña Kilo. Anyway, a Mexican silver mine, and we got some false news in the major syndicated news lines saying it was a default in zinc. No, it was a default in silver and zinc in addition. So Newmont has defaulted. Anyone who studies complex systems is well aware that if you interrupt a complex system, you get backups and effects and domino effects down the line, and really disrupt the entire system. So I'm wondering if the Newmont default will end up harming the COMEX.
Mm.
It's going to be a COMEX shut down from no one giving a shit what they have to say because they don't have any metal and they're acting like a crime syndicate inside the doors.
Okay. Jim really says stuff like, they're gonna have to change how they teach economics at the university. Like you can't even begin to understand how the banks work and how the central banks work and how government works unless you understand like trafficking, child trafficking, narcotics, and money laundering. You can't even understand unless you understand that. You're not going to understand how the system works because that's essentially what's going on here. And I'm going to say allegedly, but let's continue with Jim Willie. And sorry if the audio is a little shaky here, but guys, bear with me. It's your boy Jace, Digital Revolution Podcast. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel and get this information out there.
And I welcome it to clear the debris out of the road. And the trading ranges will not continue as a result of these snafus.
Could a gold standard be put in place for $2,000 gold?
No. I think that. Is that an equilibrium price? No.
Right.
We got to think in terms of equilibrium, supply and demand. I know that's very accurate.
Right, because you have people like Egon von Grers and other people like Lynette Zhang and Bill Holter, saying that anything that is below $40,000, that's 40K. That's anything that's below 40K for 1 ounce of gold is considered undervalued. And somebody like Bill Holter gives a quote of over $100,000 for 1 ounce of gold if and when the central banks and the government decide to do the overnight reevaluations in order to I guess collateralize the debt, what I say, not necessarily collateralize, but how are you going to pay back that debt unless you have a higher paper value amount for the gold? But in terms of gold, we don't necessarily think of paper because we don't think of fiat currency. We think of what can a 1 ounce of gold or what can a 1 ounce of silver actually buy you. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, easier says you can dictate, you can use debt. Well, implicitly you can use corruption. A 2,000 gold price doesn't fly. I don't think even a 3,000 or 5,000 gold price will create equilibrium.
Right.
We're not going to see a gold standard with a price. We're going to see a gold standard with a practice for a foundation on vehicles for payment.
The Dow is trading close to new highs. Could new highs be just around the corner?
I don't really care. Why would anybody care except to redeem their stocks, to redeem paper instruments?
Exactly. That's exactly. Sorry. That's exactly what I was saying about the stock market, guys. If we go back to what I was, talking about in terms of like, who gives a fuck about these stock markets? Like, just fucking they're making paper money, and then they're gonna buy fucking hard assets with it. But who really cares? It's all fake and phony. Only if maybe only a few people are actually controlling the market, like I personally believe that it's BlackRock and JP Morgan, Chase Bank, and the Bank of International Settlements that are controlling the stock market, and probably the WIF groups as well. But let's get back to what Jim Willie has to say.
What is the denomination in currency for the stocks? What they're doing now, Jim, is they're printing money, and through the New York Fed to prop up the stock market, because they don't want the public and the population to march on Wall Street with pitchforks and torches and starting to hang people. So if they maintain the Dow, here's where rubber met the road for me. It was the summer and fall of 2020. We had the lockdowns, and I said, if we don't see a decline in the stock market,
We never will.
shutting down the economy,
Then we never will. Mm-hmm.
because of an illicit shutdown of the economy due to a fake pandemic. If we don't see the stock market decline, we never will. And it's all through funny money to the New York Fed propping up the major stocks, and the rest follow suit. It's all orchestrated. It's all corrupt to the core. I don't care about the Dow. I don't care about the NASDAQ.
Right.
I care about the silver and gold market. I care about the bond market for the treasuries. And I care about the BRICS and their plans, because everything depends on what I just meant about what I care about.
And guys, I'm gonna leave it on that. That was really fucking powerful. Wow. Oh my God, guys, please check out Jim Whaley, and please like and subscribe to my podcast, guys. I'm just really piggybacking off of what they're saying. It's sort of like my podcast is sort of like the hot topics of what's going on in the alt media. I like to think of it that way anyway. And I would personally love to be the person that gives all the awards to the alt media people, and he would definitely get an award, and Bill Holter. But let's swing over to Bill Holter. And so, just recapping what he said, you don't give a fuck about the stock market. Just like I was saying, like, who gives a fuck about it? It's all fake and phony money anyway. It's all paper money. It's not real money. But Jim Whaley is saying something to the effect that, they're just keeping it up so that people don't get pissed off. But they won't be able to keep it up for very much longer. And again, when we get back to basics and fundamentals and macroeconomics and economics, you can't have and human nature in general, you can't have nothing for something. That's like you being in a relationship and you're getting abused and you're loving that person and giving them all your love and all your energy, but you're getting nothing back. I mean, most human beings are gonna be like, hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you. You know, I'm a potty mouth. But anyway, so let's go to Bill Holter, guys. I hope you're following me on this podcast. Guys, bear with me again. I have to apologize because I'm fucking scatterbrained. I'm all over the place. You know, life is so crazy. There's no like stability anymore. Like everything is fucking going just haywire. But you know, hopefully you guys like what I'm kicking to you, and hopefully I'm kicking something that is useful to you because I think it's very useful because I believe that this is where the real trade is. But let's go to Bill Holter, and you guys know I love Bill Holter.
Well, in the past, things are confined enough that you can do stuff off the top of your head. And I actually did make a list today. First off, we talked about money supply probably 4 or 5 months ago. Yep. The M2 money supply was contracting. It's now been contracting for 8 months. That's really dire. Just from the standpoint of the system is a Ponzi scheme. And if you shut off new money coming into the system, new credit coming into the system, it does what it would do in any Ponzi scheme. The owners aren't going to get paid.
What does that mean when you say if you put new money in? It does. What does it do to when you put new money in? What does that do to the Ponzi scheme?
Well, when you put new money in, it keeps it going. But when you stop the flow of money, it's like crimping a hose. There's no more water. There's no.
Wow, unbelievable. Bill Holter, the great Bill Holter, is saying that the whole shit is a Ponzi scheme, which it is, and we already know that. But whew, coming from the sensei himself, Sensei Holter, it's just unbelievable, guys. Like, it's fucking unreal.
Money coming out the other end of the hose.
That's what the contracting money supply means.
It's contracted. Right. The money supply has contracted, and any Ponzi scheme needs exponentially more capital to come in to pay past investors. And now we're at the moment where the money supply is not only stopped, but it's shrinking. Now, one other aspect, and you and I talked about this probably, I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, is that the velocity of money for many, many years did nothing but go downward. And that showed that the movement of money, the pace of money was continually flowing. Now all of a sudden, the velocity for the last month or two has turned upwards. Is that going to continue? I don't know. But if it does continue, then that's really alarming because what it says is investors, foreign governments, etc., are looking at the dollar as a hot potato. In other words, they get it and then they dump it because they don't want to sit on dollars. And I mean that may it may be because they're anticipating what's going to come out of the BRICS. I mean, there's been talk that the August 22nd to 24th is a huge date, and they're going to flip the switch, and there's going to be a new currency. That was reported by RT, and then I guess just a few days or a week ago, Russia came out and said, no, we're not going to immediately introduce a currency. Investors may be looking at that and saying, okay, I want to get out of dollars before this thing happens. Now, as far as whether the 22nd to the 24th is a huge event or not, I don't know one way or the other, but it is an event.
Right. So I don't want to go too long on this podcast, but it's essentially what I was saying, like look at the stock market, like Willie and all the greats are saying, all the OGs are saying that it's all fake, it's all a Ponzi scheme. They're just trying to make as much paper, including the retail investors and the small mom and pop investors. They're just trying to make as much money as they can so that they can roll that over into gold and silver. Guys, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to make this podcast too long. Please check out usawatchdog.com with Greg Hunter, who in my opinion is the underdog of the alt media. I think he's definitely at the head. Guys, we need to protect these people. We need to cherish these people. We need to learn from these people. And I definitely would be, giving him his flowers while he's still alive. These are the OGs of what they're doing. And I just want to wrap this up by giving some of my, closing thoughts on this. And I think that we are going to see, I think that we're going to see, more collapse happening. I think we're going to see more chaos happening. We're in the process of not only the whole entire planet is bankrupting and defaulting. The debt is outstanding in the whole entire planet. What is the GDP of the whole entire planet is something like $400 trillion to $800 trillion, something like that, like the whole entire GDP of the planet. And the debt is about roughly somewhere around $3 quadrillion in the whole entire planet. So not only is the debt collapsing in banks' ability to extend credit, but also those dollars are becoming worthless. And so we're seeing in the stock market again, because you have to repeat this to really understand it, that they're propping up the markets to essentially buy hard assets, because as we go further into the deterioration, into the doomsday clock, we're going to see just basically planet Earth becoming uninhabitable. And so, they will try to depopulate it in the course of World War III. They will try to depopulate to save themselves, and eventually, after they depopulate, they will try to get off the planet if they're not already off the planet. Again, some of the topics that I deal with here are so deep and open so many can of worms. I would like to just try to keep the overarching themes intact. But guys, most importantly, I just thank you for tuning into my podcast. Please like and subscribe if you like the information that I'm kicking to you. Again, it's your boy Jay. It's a Digital Revolution podcast. The truth will not be televised. Guys, the most important thing is to love yourself and to believe in something. I do believe in God. I may not be particularly religious. I consider myself spiritual, and I study every religion. I believe that God wants us to love everybody. It doesn't matter if you're gay, black, white, straight, trans, whatever. You can judge me if you want. Who cares? Like who cares what other people do, as long as they're abiding by the law and they are, essentially paying their taxes, which is a whole nother can of worms that I want to get into. But as essentially, as long as they are law-abiding citizens and they're doing what they're supposed to do and they're not hurting anybody, who gives a fuck? If they're not hurting you, why should anybody care? Why should anybody care? But humanity is a whole can of worms, and humanity, I think we're going to, get the shit kicked out of us, and possibly it will be too late. But it's your boy Jay, it's the Digital Revolution podcast. And I just want to let you guys know, above all else, love yourself, love each other. Right now, it's hard to love each other. It's hard to love other people, but if you can't, then try to find the love within yourself. Okay? I love everybody. Peace and blessings. See you on the other side.